All right, moving on to the next story on WION Dispatch this evening. Turkish troops have crossed into Syria as Ankara increases the intensity of offensive against the Kurdish fighters. The Turkish Prime Minister Binali Yildirim says the aim is to establish a 30-kilometer safe zone inside Syria. Several military trucks and tanks were seen crossing through a border gate into the Turkish town of Azaz. The move comes hours after dozens of Turkish jets bombed the Syrian Kurdish militia targets in the enclave of Afrin. Turkish move has come despite U.S. warnings. Remember, the U.S. had supported the YPG, or Syrian Kurdish People's Protection Units, in the fight against the so-called Islamic State. In fact, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has said, and I quote, "We will finish the PKK, PYD and YPG until none are left in our country. You can't defeat Turkey and the Turkish nation by ranting from afar, saying we have the US behind us anyway, we get the weapons anyway," unquote. Meanwhile, Syria's President Bashar al-Assad has condemned the Turkish incursion.
Bizim hedefimiz nedir? Bizim hedefimiz şu. 3,5 milyon Suriyeli bizim topraklarımızda var mı? Var. İşte bizim topraklarımızdaki Suriyeli kardeşlerimizi kendi topraklarına bir an önce göndermek.
And joining me live from Amman in Jordan is WION's West Asia Bureau Chief Daniele Pagani. Good evening, Daniele. Now, we know that US and Turkey both are NATO allies. How is this development impacting their relations? We'll try to fix that link with Daniele in a bit. That was WION's West Asia Bureau Chief Daniele Pagani, who was joining with us from Amman in Jordan. I'm told he's with us now. Daniele, if you can hear me, what about peace inside Syria? What happened to that?
Indeed, yes, peace for Syria is now a very, very difficult achievement. If you think that Iranian soldiers are in Syria, US-backed special forces are in Syria, Russian forces are in Syria, Turkish forces are in Syria, the Syrian Democratic Forces are fighting, backed by the United States of America. There are Shia militias backed by the Iranian government fighting in Syria. There is the Hezbollah. So the amount of foreign military, either military groups or armies in Syria is almost uncountable as of now. And this means that Syria is basically a country without sovereignty. There is no one who is capable of controlling the entire country in Syria. Not President Bashar al-Assad, not the Russians, not the Iranians. Everyone controls a part of it. But putting all these pieces together will be an enormous and Herculean challenge for the international community. And as of now, each and every round of talk in Geneva, each and every round of talk in Sochi, each and every agreement has to a certain extent failed. The deconfliction zone are not holding up. Eastern Ghouta is being shelled every day, and also the province of Idlib is witnessing fighting, and Turkey is also fighting against the Kurds in Afrin. So what is happening right now is a new offensive in a country already battered by war, a new army pitching in very heavily in the Syrian scenario, making peace, as of now, perhaps an impossible achievement, at least on the short run.